Time now 8:15. You know, living in New Orleans, folks always want to come stay. There's always something going on for them to be here for, and you want to have a nice, comfy room. So Chet Portia was here with some fantastic tips this morning on how to establish that, how to make that.
Absolutely, Jen. Good morning to you. You know, it's the holiday season, and what happens during the holiday season? You have friends and family over. So I want to show you how and give you a couple of tips today on how you can actually transform your guest room if you're lucky enough to have that. Some people have guest rooms, but they've transformed them into offices. But if you're going to have guests over for the holiday season, you want to make that guest feel comfortable. You want to kind of create this, you know, like hotel feel to it, but still making them feel like they're welcome in your home. And one of the most important things is that you got to make sure that you have a comfortable mattress. Now, if you got a comfortable mattress, you know, mattresses are kind of hard and expensive to replace. A mattress pad is something that you can do.
That's a good
but
idea.
then people forget there's something that's really easy that you guys can do. Just a nice pillow makes a huge difference for guests. I mean, as we know, if you go to a hotel, sometimes that could be the most uncomfortable thing.
Yes.
So having a nice pillow really brings in a nice feel to the whole room and makes your guests feel really wonderful. And on that note, if you're going to have a nice pillow, try to get some linens and stuff that are kind of matched. You know, you don't want to have mismatched linens on your bed when you have guests over.
Yeah.
These linens are really beautiful complements of the linen store on Magazine Street, and it's really gorgeous, isn't it?
I love the
yeah, it's just really classic, really beautiful. You know, another thing when you go to a hotel room, especially if you're gonna have guests over for a couple of days, you want to be sure that you're giving them a nicer robe.
Isn't that a nice idea?
Yeah, and you know, you don't have to buy the most expensive things or the most expensive robe. This came from a store that I always try to keep it local. Belladonna supplied me with this stuff. I mean, they've been in business for a long time. They're local, so I wanted to make sure that, you know, I use some of their things. Right. So a great bamboo robe from Belladonna would be nice. And also, you know, the one thing that we forget whenever we're having guests over and they're spending the night is to create this little spa-like thing for them. You know, just a couple of little things inside. You know, like you want to make sure that you have some lotion. You know, I like to have my water on the side of the bed, and I know a lot of people do as well. You know, a little candle, a clean washcloth to kind of match everything else. You know, and just create this nice little zen-like thing for your guests whenever they're at home, at your house. This is just a really great thing that's going to make them feel really comfortable. Another great thing is that, you know, nice flowers is really cute. And what I did here, you know, I'm always about making sure that we do the DIY thing. This is actually a beer mug that I took.
I didn't even notice.
Yeah, that I took and reused. You know, hydrangea. You can actually get stuff out of your garden, or you can go to a local store, grocery store, or to a local florist and actually get some flowers. Don't have to spend a lot of money. You know, try to keep it local, try to keep it inexpensive. You know, just a really great idea. Rugs.
I love how you kind of stuff the leaves in here too. That's a great idea.
Yeah, I did.
Really
Once again, just you have to add your own personal touch to it. This stuff shouldn't be really hard. It should just be a lot of fun for you. You know, rugs. You don't want to actually have your guests over and have them to step on a cold floor, especially because it's the holiday season. More than likely, it's going to be kind of cool. You know, and just keep the rugs really simple. If you're going to do something with a pattern to it, you know, make sure that it's kind of tone on tone, or something that's really, you know, really smooth, really fun. And natural fiber rugs are really important. Okay, we got to end my tip this week with a DIY tip, the do-it-yourself tip. This is something that's really fun, really great, and very inexpensive. You're going to need 3 things. You know, if you have guests over, a white wall is something that can be a little bit depressing, not too inviting. So what you want to do is to add a little piece of artwork to your walls. Today I'm going to show you how you can create your own artwork for barely nothing. You're going to need 3 things. You're actually going to need either wrapping paper, or wallpaper, which you can totally find this. You may already have some. Scraps, exactly. You know, I got this at Scriptura, beautiful wrapping paper. You know, not that expensive, but just something really fun. You're gonna need a picture frame, which very inexpensive. You may have some. You can recycle, upcycle the ones that you have, or buy a very inexpensive picture frame. And then you're gonna need a pair of scissors. 3 things. What you do is you take out the back part of the picture frame, and then you use actually the piece of paper that's inside as your guide.
Okay.
You measure it. You just stick it in a corner and you measure here, and then you actually want to cut it.
This doesn't seem too hard.
No, it's very, very easy. You cut that.
And you know, while we're doing this, because we're gonna have to go in just a second, I wanted to congratulate you, one of Gambit's top 40 under 40, our own Chet Portia. We're so proud of you.
Thank you very much. You place that in there.
Okay.
And
I think you still have the cardboard on the
we're going to show some that's been completed.
Ah, okay.
And this is the way it looks once it's been done.
Perfect. Oh,
that's your finished product.
That's really pretty.
Yeah, very inexpensive, very affordable, but can turn a basic white wall into something just really beautiful and really stunning. And not only can you use this for the guest bedroom, but kids' rooms, baby rooms, hallways, your own rooms are really great. Depending on the size of the frame that you're using, you know, wallpaper, wrapping paper comes in different sizes. I just think it's a great idea for you.
It is. Fantastic tips. Chip Portia, thank you so much. And again,
you're
big
welcome.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Keep it right here. Fox 8 Morning News will be right back.